Well, it's 0-0 at half time, shall we say, in the tie. Aston Villa kind of got the job done. I don't think it was the greatest of matches of all time, but we will talk it through. This is your instant match reaction to Ajax nil, Aston Villa nil. Hello and welcome to the Villa Park podcast. It's me, Rich, and I'm back with your instant match reaction to Ajax nil, Aston Villa nil. And it's half time in the tie. Obviously, we take them back to Villa Park. Hit that like button to help the channel grow. Hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. We are marching on to 3,500 subscribers. I want to do a special 3,500 subscriber show as well. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, help us grow, and get your comments in. Who was your man of the match? What did you think of today's game? Wasn't the greatest of games, but can we say it's job done? I mean, are Ajax going to be a dangerous side when they come back to Villa Park? I think they are. They've got some decent players. I think they play a similar, played a similar style to us. They matched us up. They've got a strong striker. I didn't think he was fantastic, Robbie, but he looks strong. He looks like he can put himself about. Looks a little bit raw, but could cause problems. Henderson in that midfield's got the experience. He knew how to set them up, and then the three players across the back. The centre half did very well against Ollie Watkins, and we couldn't really get going. Some of our own wasteful play, but credit to Ajax, they kept pressing all game, and I thought they would really tire towards the end. They did a little bit, but we didn't really take advantage where we maybe could have done. But that being said, clean sheet away from home, we've got to fancy ourselves to get the result next week. Obviously, starting team. I'll put my team up. Obviously, it wasn't the my predicted team. I got a couple of those wrong. Obviously, Konsa started at right back. Longley and Torres were at the back with Luka Dean at left back. Then Bonham did start, but Luiz started next to him. Then we had Morgan Rogers and Tielemans and Diaby and Watkins up front, and we started off pretty well. I thought I knew that Ajax would come at us. The crowd were well up for it. The atmosphere was fantastic, and I thought the Ajax team obviously were very much up for it, and they had to be. In Villa kind of set their stall out to kind of quieten down the crowd, be patient in possession, and try and pick them off. And it nearly did pay off with our kind of probably our best moment of the first half, quite early on in the game. Ball breaks when Morgan Rogers is going forward, and Yuri Tielemans, it hits off him and goes into the path of Moussa Diaby. Tielemans makes a great run across the defender. Diaby cuts inside and curls an effort, but it goes straight at the goalkeeper. And that was probably our best effort. Too many times we obviously tried to play the ball across the back and suck them in and pull them out, and then try and play through the lines. But Ajax weren't really having any of it and did have it quite really well set up. And I think when you're starting the likes of Bonham and Rogers, it was clear to see that Henderson had told the Ajax team, sit off the likes of Luiz, sit off the likes of Tielemans. But when Bonham gets it, when Rogers gets it, really step in and put the pressure on those young players, because you've got to see whether they can stand up to the fight. And it did feel like they played as if they were young players. Bonham was okay, but you could see the players didn't quite trust him enough to give him the ball in the tighter areas where maybe a Kamara would receive it, which is obvious that is going to happen. But when you're doing that, you're forcing yourself to make a tougher pass. Ezri Konsa wasn't quite, as comfortable in that right back spot as maybe Matty Cash is, and we couldn't really get Luka Dean involved down that left hand side because, as I say, players are targeting, say, a player like Morgan Rogers and pushing him back, and we couldn't really get that movement going between the two of them. But we held firm. I don't think Ajax had particularly many chances. They had one effort where Brobby did break the lines. A defender pushed through, broke the line, and played him in, but he was off balance, and his shot went sort of comfortably into the side netting. To be honest, and that was about it for the first half. I think the telling sign was that there was no there was hardly any injury time, so that was that. We did pick up a booking. Ezri Konsa got booked in the first half, and I thought he might take him off at half time, but we did make a change at half time. Matty Cash coming on, but it was Pau Torres who went off, and that's a slight concern. Is he still carrying a knock? He was giving the ball away quite a bit in that first half, a little bit kind of not normal for Pau Torres. 3 or 4 times he gave the ball away in that first half. But yeah, Matty Cash came on. Ezri Konsa slotted back into centre back. Longley went back across the left side of centre back. And to be honest, it did look much more comfortable. Ezri Konsa is obviously more comfortable in that position, and it did make for a more settled back four. And we did start to kind of pick up the ball a little bit more. We were looking a bit more direct for Ollie Watkins, and we did start to maybe cause 1 or 2 problems without having any shots, or at least being more competitive in the game and not sort of sitting right back. That being said, Ajax did put us under some pressure, had a really good effort. Got in down the left-hand side, their fullback. He cuts it back to Taylor, who hits it. First time, Emi Martinez gets down really well at his near post, pads it down, and then it goes back into the air, and he catches it. And then after that, kind of drama did ensue. Obviously, a number of changes are made. John McGinn comes on, Leon Bailey comes on, and then we bring on Nicola Zaniolo and Alex Moreno. And to be honest, there'd been a lot of giveaways of the ball, but from both sides. There'd been a lot of kind of not really nasty challenges, but challenges that maybe were worthy of bookings. Ewan Bonham picks up a booking. As I say, Ezri Konsa had his booking from the first half. I think Matty Cash might have got a booking as well. Zaniolo got a ridiculous booking as well for absolutely nothing. And the ref really seemed to play the occasion as other than play the game. He did seem to get very influenced by the supporters, by the crowd in that stadium, and kind of, I guess, got a little bit intimidated. And Chupa Akpom came on, and he's played through, and it looks like he's the one that brings Konsa down. But Konsa, the both players end up falling in a heap. And it's Ezri Konsa who picks up his second yellow card, and can't really believe that he's managed to get that second yellow card on 83 minutes. And Villa are down to 10 men, and you're thinking, here we go. This is going to be really backs to the wall situation. And then from the ensuing free kick, I believe, ball comes over, or they may have had a corner, ball comes over, and that's probably the most threatening. It was bouncing around in the box, and Ollie Watkins ends up heading it clear. After that, we managed to get the ball out. Ball's going up the line. Nicola Zaniolo does really well to hold the ball up. He's running with the ball, and tackle from behind from Tristan Guyer. And that then ensues a second yellow card. But the referee doesn't even realise that he's booked him already. Takes him a little while to realise he's booked him already, and he gets sent off on 86 minutes. So yeah, it ends up being kind of a game that had no real nasty challenges or anything. It was a competitive game. Both teams, like I say, were giving the ball away. It was quite scrappy, but certainly not dirty. It ends up getting 2 yellow cards, 2 red cards, sorry, one for each team, and both teams are down to 10 men. At that point, as the game's sort of coming to a close, Villa do have 1 or 2 chances. Zaniolo again doing really well down the left-hand side, puts a wonderful ball across, but Ollie Watkins couldn't quite get there, and ball goes out to the other side. Then Leon Bailey's through, bit of head tennis between Watkins and Zaniolo. Ball falls to Leon Bailey, hits the shot with his weaker right foot, and the defender gets a great block on it. And then we have a couple of corners right at the end, but nothing really comes of it. The game finishes 0-0. I guess both teams will be reasonably happy with that. Ajax probably looking at where their form is in the league. I've obviously had an upturn. They've obviously changed the way they play slightly. They'll be, I guess, pleased to take it to Villa Park with a real chance. And Villa obviously be happy with a 0-0 draw to go back to Villa Park and hopefully turn it around and get the victory. We will obviously be without Ezri Konsa for that game. He will be suspended, so hopefully Pau Torres isn't too injured. And we will be without Nicolo Zaniolo, who picked up his second yellow card and is missing for that game. So that is that will be a loss, particularly Konsa, as we know. But we should have enough in the tank to get through. I think it would be a good result for Emery. I think he'll say, the team defended well, the team played well in terms of their defensive structure, didn't get the passing right moving forward. I don't know whether the pitch was a little bit bobbly, a little bit wet surface. Seemed to be like long balls. As soon as they hit the ground, they were just picking up speed on the surface, and then any passes then seemed to be bouncing up, in front of players. So that'll be something that we'll want to kind of rectify at home. And yeah, defensive structure. I think we've seen what they're about. As I say, Brobby puts himself about, doesn't really do much more than that, as I say. But yeah, I think we cope with them pretty well. So you have to be satisfied with it. That's what I would say. Satisfied in terms of the word for the game. I wouldn't say we were brilliant by any means, but it's good to get some changes, good to get some minutes in some players' legs, and obviously takes us into Tottenham on Sunday and Ajax the following next week in good spirits. Man of the match for me, probably Emi Martinez. I thought his starting position was excellent, although he didn't have many saves to make. He made a couple of really key saves and came out and claimed it when he needed to. So for me, Emi Martinez. But you guys let me know in the comments your thoughts on the man of the match and your thoughts on the game. That'll be it from me. I'll be back tomorrow for match preview for Spurs. And I think I'll be on the Football's 12-Man podcast with Dan Potts. So make sure you catch that tomorrow evening as well, early evening. But that's it from me. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit the notification bell, all that jazz. Thank you all for watching. And as always, remember, we'll follow the Villa. Thanks, everyone.